What would you do if you were imprisoned for 15 years without reason, then suddenly set free? Welcome to the chilling maze of Oldboy, a tale of revenge that knots your gut. This is more than just a movie. It's a gripping psychological journey that will shape your perspective of vengeance, salvation, and the human spirit. Today, we are delving into the heart of the grotesque and mesmerizing world of a South Korean cinema jewel, Oldboy. Unrivaled in its ability to disturb and captivate viewers, this seminal film, directed by the iconic Park Chan-wook, stars the indubitable Choi Min-sik and Kim Soo-hyun. Pulsating with raw energy and visceral brutality, Oldboy intertwines themes of vengeance with dark psychological play, shattering the conventions of the revenge thriller genre. Considered a monumental work, Oldboy bagged the Grand Prix at the Cannes Film Festival in 2004, etching its name permanently in the annals of celluloid history. Today, we'll be delving into what makes this film a timeless masterpiece that has left an indelible mark, not just on South Korean cinema, but on global storytelling as a whole. So if you're a fan of labyrinthine plots, jaw-dropping twists, and heart-wrenching emotions, keep listening as we unravel the enigma that is Oldboy. Before we go any further, be warned, this section contains some mild spoilers. If you haven't seen Oldboy yet, you may want to skip ahead to avoid ruining the experience. Oldboy follows the harrowing journey of Oh Dae-soo, a man mysteriously kidnapped and confined to a room for 15 years. The room is his entire world, and he's left with a TV as his only connection to the outside. One day, just as inexplicably as he was imprisoned, he is released. Upon release, Oh Dae-soo embarks on a relentless quest to find his captor and understand the reason behind his imprisonment. He's not just looking for freedom, he wants vengeance, and he's got only 5 days to find his answers before something far worse happens. What follows is a descent into a labyrinth of deception, betrayal, and extreme brutality. The central mystery is, why was he imprisoned in the first place, and who is behind all of this? If you're in for a tale that constantly defies expectations and goes to some truly dark places, then you're in for a ride. Park Chan-wook's Oldboy is a visual tour de force, utilizing its cinematography not just as a storytelling tool, but as a character in its own right. The film employs a variety of camera techniques, from steady tracking shots to jarring handheld sequences, that complement the unsettling nature of the story. When it comes to the color palette, Oldboy is rather selective but impactful. The film leans heavily on a moody mix of browns, reds, and grays, serving as a backdrop to its dark, thematic elements. These colors often reflect the emotional state of the characters, particularly Oh Dae-soo, as he navigates through his complicated journey. Visual motifs also play a crucial role in this film. The recurring images of ants, for example, signify Oh Dae-soo's feelings of powerlessness and insignificance, and they're brilliantly incorporated into the film's visual language. In essence, the visual style of Oldboy is not just eye candy. It's an integral part of the narrative, deepening the story's complexities and enhancing its emotional impact. It's a film where form and content are inseparably entwined, each amplifying the effect of the other. If you thought the visuals were the only things meticulously crafted in Oldboy, think again. The film's editing and pacing are every bit as deliberate, serving as the backbone of this intricate narrative. Oldboy employs a variety of editing techniques that work in tandem with its storytelling. Quick cuts and transitions are often used to accentuate the intensity of a scene, while longer takes are employed to let emotional moments breathe. This creates a dynamic pacing that keeps you engaged, but also gives you time to contemplate the complex story unfolding before you. And who could talk about Oldboy's editing without mentioning the iconic single-shot corridor fight scene? This is a masterclass in choreography, cinematography, and editing, or rather, the lack thereof. The absence of cuts in this sequence adds a visceral, almost claustrophobic feel that amplifies the raw emotion and desperation of the character. In summary, the editing and pacing of Oldboy aren't just technical achievements, they're narrative devices that serve the story just as much as any line of dialogue or plot twist. At its core, Oldboy is a narrative juggernaut that refuses to take the easy road. Its story is a multi-layered maze of twists and turns that keeps the audience guessing until the very end. Just when you think you've solved one piece of the puzzle, another layer unfolds, flipping your expectations upside down. It's essential to tread carefully when discussing the narrative twists without revealing too much. Let's just say, The plot isn't just a sequence of events, but a complex web of interconnected threads that come together in an utterly shocking, yet strangely logical conclusion. Adding to this complexity is the element of an unreliable narrator. Dae-soo, our protagonist, isn't just navigating his own maze of confusion and despair, he's also leading us through it. And because we're seeing the world largely from his point of view, the lines between reality and perception often blur, making the unraveling of the truth all the more satisfying or devastating. In summary, Oldboy's narrative complexity isn't for the faint of heart. It demands your full attention and rewards you with a storytelling experience that's as intellectually stimulating as it is emotionally impactful. Oldboy isn't just a thriller that keeps you at the edge of your seat. It's a psychological deep dive into themes that are as old as storytelling itself. Top among these is the theme of revenge. While many stories portray revenge as a quest for justice, Oldboy raises the question, at what cost? It exposes the destructive, cyclical nature of vengeance that leaves no room for winners. Equally compelling is the theme of isolation. Dae-soo's 15 years of confinement serve as a physical manifestation of the emotional and psychological isolation that many of the film's characters experience. This isolation shapes their motivations and actions, adding another layer of complexity to an already dense narrative. And let's not forget the film's symbols and motifs. From the recurring images of ants to the use of mirrors, Oldboy employs these elements to amplify its themes and deepen its emotional impact. These aren't just frivolous details. They're critical pieces that complete the narrative puzzle. In conclusion, the themes and symbols in Oldboy are more than just window dressing. They're integral to understanding the story and its characters, and they add a level of depth that elevates the film into the realm of modern classics. Any great story is built on the backbone of its characters, and Oldboy is no exception. At the center of it all is Dae-soo, a man whose life is dismantled piece by piece. His transformation from a carefree individual to a vengeful, broken man is nothing short of remarkable. His journey is not just physical, but deeply psychological, and the nuanced performance gives justice to this layered character. But Oldboy is not a one-man show. The film is populated with a cast of supporting characters who are equally compelling. Whether it's the enigmatic captor or the compassionate Mi-do, each character serves a distinct purpose and adds a unique layer to the narrative. It's also worth mentioning the complex relationships that evolve throughout the film. The connections between characters aren't just black and white. They're marinated in shades of gray that blur the lines between friend and foe, victim and perpetrator. What makes Oldboy stand out is not just its intricate plot or stunning visuals, but its ability to breathe life into its characters, making their triumphs, failures, and tragedies our own. No film achieves greatness without stellar performances, and in Oldboy, the acting is nothing short of remarkable. At the forefront is Choi Min-sik's visceral portrayal of Dae-soo. His commitment to the role is evident in every frame, whether he's expressing fury, sorrow, or the rare moment of joy. Choi Min-sik's performance isn't just about emoting. It's about embodying a character whose life has been ripped apart. His portrayal demands both physical and emotional courage, and he delivers on both fronts. But the brilliance of Oldboy's ensemble doesn't stop with its lead. The supporting cast, from the shadowy figures pulling the strings to the innocents caught in the crossfire, add layers of complexity to the film. Their performances enhance the story's emotional depth, making the plot twists even more gut-wrenching. The combined performances in Oldboy do more than just bring the script to life. They elevate the film into a haunting experience that stays with you long after the credits roll. Understanding Oldboy is not complete without appreciating its cultural context. Within the realm of South Korean cinema, the film stands as a cornerstone, exemplifying the nation's knack for storytelling that's both intricate and emotionally charged. It also contributed to the global recognition of Korean cinema, paving the way for future filmmakers. However, Oldboy's impact isn't limited to South Korea. Its global footprint is evident, with an American remake and numerous accolades from international film festivals. Although the remake received mixed reviews, it highlights the universal appeal of the original's storytelling. The film also touches upon cultural themes that resonate beyond its country of origin. Its public reception, both domestically and internationally, is a testament to how profoundly its story impacts audiences, transcending language and borders. In summary, Oldboy doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's a film deeply rooted in its cultural milieu, yet its themes and storytelling have a universal quality that has earned it a place in the global cinematic landscape. Any conversation about Oldboy would be incomplete without discussing its impact on the industry, both in terms of critical and commercial success. Despite its dark and complex themes, the film performed admirably at the box office, proving that audiences are more than willing to engage with challenging material. Critically, Oldboy was a tour de force. It didn't just impress audiences, it swept critics off their feet. From its intricate storytelling to its masterful performances, reviewers found plenty to praise. The film holds a special place in the annals of cinema, often cited in discussions about the greatest films of the 21st century. And let's not forget the accolades. Among its many honors, Oldboy won the Grand Prix at the Cannes Film Festival, solidifying its place in the global cinematic landscape. It's one thing for a film to be popular, it's another for it to be both popular and critically lauded. All in all, Oldboy isn't just a success story. It's a testament to the power of cinema to transcend boundaries and captivate audiences, critics, and juries alike. Oldboy is more than just a groundbreaking movie. It's a cinematic touchstone that has left an indelible impact on the world of film. In terms of its genre, it transcends the boundaries of thriller or drama, setting new standards for psychological storytelling. The film's influence is felt far and wide, inspiring a new wave of filmmakers and storytellers who dare to delve into complex narratives and challenging themes. It's not just a cult classic, it's a reference point in modern cinema, cited by many as an influence in their own creative journeys. As for its enduring popularity, Oldboy continues to attract new fans and provoke discussions, years after its initial release. Whether it's through merchandise, fan art, or simply the power of word of mouth, the film's presence remains strong. In conclusion, Oldboy isn't just a film you watch. It's an experience that stays with you. Its legacy is proof that cinema has the power to not only entertain, but also to challenge, inspire, and endure. As we wrap up this deep dive into Park Chan-wook's Oldboy, it's evident that this film isn't just a captivating story. It's a cinematic experience that has left an indelible mark on the industry and its audiences. Personally, I find Oldboy to be a masterclass in storytelling, direction, and performances. It's a film that dares to push boundaries, ask uncomfortable questions, and make us look inward as we're swept up in its narrative whirlwind. If you're a fan of psychological thrillers, complex characters, or just exceptional filmmaking, Oldboy is a must-watch. However, be warned, its content is not for the faint of heart and addresses mature themes that may not be suitable for all audiences. So, what are your thoughts on Oldboy? Is it a masterpiece or is it overrated? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth film analyses.